I think during the course of this conference, you will begin to see how do we make our organization fit for purpose at high expectations and confidence and trust. We will.
Honorable Chairman, dignitaries on dais, and friends. Migration is not a new phenomenon. It has been there since time immemorial, and many countries have experienced it in some form or other. Only the degree and intensity varies. What has added new angle to human migration in recent times is the process of globalization, which has broken the barriers of the nation state, facilitating seamless movement of people, goods, services, and ideas. A new noticeable trend is increase in number of women migrants. Nobody would like to leave his or her country of birth and his home and heart without insurmountable circumstances. People migrate in search of better opportunities and at times under very compelling circumstances due to economic, political, or social reasons. The difference between voluntary and involuntary migration, or between refugees fleeing political conflict versus economic or labor migration, is complex. The exodus of hundreds of thousands of people from Syria and other countries as refugees is a man-made human tragedy. This has raised a number of issues which need to be addressed with great degree of sensitivity. Far from being propelled by economic reasons, this crisis is mostly about refugees. We encourage the governments concerned to work out comprehensive and mutually beneficial solutions derived from their international obligations and the best practices dealing with such large-scale refugee movement in the post-World War II period. They must also deeply reflect on the factors leading to the crisis. I wish to keep our comments within the framework of the theme for the general debate relating to fairer, smarter, and more human migration. Migration poses challenges and moral dilemma for destination countries as fear, anxiety, and doubts arises about the interest of local population. However, it also presents an opportunity for economic growth, human development, and cultural diversity. The host country benefits in terms of their labor, both skilled and unskilled, talent and expertise, energy and innovation brought in by younger migrants. The native country benefits in terms of remittances, savings, skills, and international contacts provided by migrants. Migration also strengthens tourism and nostalgia for one's foods and products of the country of origin creates markets for those products in the immigration country, fostering local production and international trade. The top destination countries for immigration have generally witnessed social, cultural, and political diversity, strengthening of liberty, freedom, and democratic values. Migration also helps in bringing the socio-cultural divides and brings people together, leading to better understanding, which is very essential for a peaceful world. Now let me share India's experience with migration. Since time immemorial, India has witnessed migration as one of the important features of interaction with the outside world and as means for exchange of ideas, trade, and commerce, among many other things. The central theme and understanding of migration for Indians is derived from the Indian philosophical concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means that the entire world is one family. Historically, Indian traders, seafarers, and monks have migrated and settled in foreign lands as goodwill ambassadors, spreading the message of unity, peace, and brotherhood, and never ever to conquer territories that we must. Integral humanism is deep-rooted in the Indian people. Over 28.5 million overseas Indians, including non-resident Indians and persons of Indian origin, are presently residing overseas. Almost similar number of migrants, including irregular migrants, have made India their home. This has made India an important country of origin and of destination for migrants. One of the finest examples of fairer, smarter, and more human migration is proudly showcased in Indian history. The Parsis, Zoroastrians, immigrated to India for reasons of religious freedom, and they were allowed to settle in India thanks to the goodwill of a local ruler. So they were given a place to live, an opportunity to develop. It may be in 8th or 10th century I am talking about. Over the centuries, the Parsis have integrated and assimilated themselves into Indian society like sugar in the milk. They have contributed immensely to the history and development of India. Their achievements are not only respected by the whole nation, but every Indian also takes pride in their success as own success and India's success. Sustainable development can only be achieved with the inclusion of all groups. This finds reflection in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development by including migration and human mobility in 4 of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals target. The success of SDGs lies in their implementation so far. Our Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi's vision of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, which means together with all, development for all, underscores the importance of inclusive growth. The non-resident Indians and persons of Indian origin, by their creativity, entrepreneurship, diligence, and law-abiding nature, have played an important role in global brand building and image of Indian as a knowledge economy. They have become the most effective brand ambassadors to showcase India's proud heritage, culture, and its progress, and also have contributed immensely to their host countries. As a responsible country, India also engages in so many international developmental processes. I believe that we, the parliamentarians, need to support for greater international efforts to supplement national efforts in addressing the challenges associated with migration. Climate changes may add new dimensions to the issue of migration. We acknowledge the fact that the solution and approaches for dealing with migration may differ for country to country based on local and national circumstances. But at all times, it should conform to the basic norms of human dignity and human rights of migrants. India calls for concerted effort to promote teamwork amongst nations to maximize the benefits of migration while reducing its negative effects. I conclude now, Praninam upakaraya yad iva pararthacha karmanam manasa vacha tadeva matiman bhajet. It means by his work, thoughts, and words, an intelligent man, or it calls an intelligent nation also, must perform actions which will be beneficial for all living entities in this life. I will like, we must keep in our mind that uprooting people against their wishes or forced migration from one's motherland to an unknown foreign land is traumatic for individuals and families. On the other hand, fairer and smarter migration in search of better opportunities leads to growth, development, and a win-win situation for the native and the host countries in particular, and global society in general. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The next speaker is Mr. Kenga from the Republic of Bhutan.
Followed by.
And this will be followed by.
As I conclude, I would like to reiterate that migration through cross-border or